Hey y'all, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me for another Humpday handmade project. In these videos on the second Wednesday of every month at 8 Eastern Standard Time, my BFF Paulette, a Scrappy Tate, and I create completely handmade projects. I am late with my video. Paulette has already posted hers, so be sure to go over and check her out. I made a candy box for this project because I've had this in my head for a minute and I just wanted to go ahead and make something. I use this Pebbles Happy Hooray paper. It is birthday paper, but I'm using it for a swap. This is what I created. This holds 2 of the candies from Dollar Tree. The overall size is 5 5/8 by 4 3/4. 4 3/4 with the rooftop that I went and added on later. And then it is about 1 5/8 wide. Similar to another box that I made, is just that this one is specifically made for these 2 candy boxes. So I did some ribbon here on the front. I have some little hole reinforcers which don't fit very well, and I have that hole reinforcer punch, but I didn't use it. So the ribbon is tied here in the front. There's 2 holes punched there and then 2 holes punched at the bottom, and then it just opens up. If you want to do your closure a different way, that works as well. And then you have your candy boxes on each side. I did not layer the back pieces behind the candy boxes, but it would be the same measurement as the measurements for these front layers that I do mention in the video. So if you're interested in creating one, just keep watching the video. Okay, so for this box you're going to need 3 pieces of cardstock. One is cut at 4 3/8 by 8, and the outside part is cut at 5 5/8 by 9 3/4. On the 9 3/4 inch side, you're going to score at 4 1/8 and 5 5/8. And then you're going to have 2 pieces that's cut at 8 by 4 3/8. On the 4 3/8 side, I have pre-scored because it's really hard to see. You're going to start your scoring at a 1/2 inch and 1 1/4, and then on the 8 inch side you're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 1 1/4, 6 3/4, and 7 1/2. This is the inside box that's cut at 4 3/8 by 8. I'm going to fold on my score marks and do all my cutting, and you will do both of the inside boxes the exact same way. So this is what you have. So as far as our cutting, we're going to cut off these 2 little squares on the side. We'll start off there and miter this bottom piece. Then I'm going to cut off this little rectangle here on the side. And then I'm going to cut this little box to make it a tab, and then I'm going to miter here and also miter here. And you're going to do the same thing on the other side, and then you have another box, half a box like this, that you're going to do the same thing too. So I'm going to cut off this rectangle, miter here, make this a tab, and then miter on this piece. So this is what you will end up with. Now if you watch my tutorials, you know when I have boxes like this, I like to staple them using my mini stapler. So you fold it in like that, just like a pocket. And then I'm going to put a little staple here in the corner. Do the same thing through the other side. That's my inner box. Before I glue it to this inside piece, what I want to do is mat it. I've already done one. This is what it looks like. Now my pieces are not as long. That's why I try not to give out measurements for the matting pieces, because sometimes mine don't cover all of that, and I'm okay with that. So I just, you know, don't give the inside pieces. But if you want them, the sides are cut at 3 by 3 3/4. If you want yours a little longer, you can see right here, just cut it a little longer. And then for the front, it is 3 by 5 3/8. That's what my border looks like. Not the best, but if you want it different, just cut it a little larger. I'm going to use a liquid adhesive on this. Making sure it's down really good. And then for the sides, like I said, it doesn't go all the way up on my sides, but I'm okay with that. Then the other side, and that's what it looks like. So I have my 1.5 inch punch, circle punch. And that's what I did my little finger hole with. I just eyeballed it, centered it as good as I could, and I little hole there. Now before you put these boxes inside here, because when they open, it'll open like this. If you want a piece there, I do, because I'll be using this piece for a swap. I cut mine at 1.5 by 5 5/8. Again, not perfect, but I'm going to use it. I'm just going to use some liquid adhesive. Oops. Then I'll put that there, and then I will glue my boxes. I guess I need to cut another piece for the outside. I'm going to glue my boxes on each of the panels, just like that. So I'm going to put my adhesive there. You want to use some double-sided tape as well to help it line up the right way you can. Close to the score mark, but not over. Also watch your sides. If you want it a little larger, just cut it a little larger. If you want more space on the side of the box, just cut it a little larger. Kind of stand it up and eyeball it. Okay, so I'm good with that. So I'm going to press it down. And I'll do this other side. sure that's good. All right. And the 2 boxes of candy will fit in here. I'm going to finish embellishing and decide on a closure, and I will come back. So I have finished layering it. I wanted to give this time to dry, but that's what the inside looks like. On the front, this front layer is 4 1/8 by 5 5/8. For the closure, I decided to do just like a little sort of rooftop closure. This is 3 by 5 5/8. I scored it at 1 1/2, and then I just put some double-sided tape and glued it to the back. On the front, I put it where I wanted it, and then I took this little tool right here and punched some holes, and then I'm going to use my hole puncher to punch some larger holes, and I'll just string some ribbon through it. So the holes aren't perfect, but I'm okay with that. And so you have your candy in there. This is your closure for your ribbon. I'm going to use some of these Hottie Swap hole reinforcers, or if you have the punch that makes the little hole reinforcers, you can match it to your paper. I'm just going to use something really quick to put on there. They're a little bigger than the holes that I punched, but and then I'll just get some thin ribbon. I'll use some of this pink and white polka dot ribbon. I'll just cut a piece off. So I think the easiest way to do this is going to be to pull it through here first. This is the front, and then pull it through the top. Maybe I should have used a thinner ribbon. So put it in that part first, and then once you get this close, you want to pull it through, and then you can pull it tight. You have some tweezers. And then this side. Yeah, thinner ribbon probably would have worked better. So then you tie it. Yep, I can tie a bow. You want to tie it and be done. Not the cutest bow. I'll go back and embellish a little bit more, but overall I love how it turned out. I've had this idea in my head since I was out of town. If you want to mush it down a little bit, that works too. I will have all the measurements down in the description box. I'm late with my video. Paulette has already posted hers, so be sure to go over and check to see what she created for our Hump Day Handmade. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay safe and have a great day. Bye.